Hello, my fellow readers. It's time for the next quarterly review or the mid-year check-in. All right, I'm a little bit behind on the mid-year thing because now it's August, but welcome to the end of summer. I know some people probably hate that I said that, but you know what? I am not a summer girl. I am a fall and winter and spring girl. It's like my least favorite season. But we've reached mid-year and the next check-in, and I've finished a bunch of things, mostly books, but also like things, well, I'm not finished yet. What am I saying? I still got a long way to go. Regardless, it's time to do a check-in. I'm not going to do any tags or overly talking about anything. I don't even have a favorite book for this period. I mean, I read a lot of good things, but I don't think I have a favorite. Just thinking, no favorites, but I'm definitely going to be talking about some of the ones that I liked, and you'll hear about that when I go over the screen. So let's go ahead and take a look at all of the details about this last quarter and enjoy. All right, so here we are with my reading log, and I have highlighted where April began, and here we are at 135 was the number that I started on. And my first book of the quarter was House of Blight, which I actually very much enjoyed. And I don't know. I don't want to talk too much about any of these on this spreadsheet because I'm just going to look at the covers when I go over to Goodreads. So I'm actually just going to forward ahead and see where I stopped, which was at 241. So it was about... the last book would have technically been 240, so it was 105 books read during that quarter, which makes sense. I've been very busy, but that's still a lot. I mean, I'm not saying that. It's just yeah, I think it's good. I sort of have been cutting back from last year where I felt like there was too many, focusing more on allowing myself to do other things and not feeling guilty or stressed out if I didn't get to complete something. So I think that's good. We're at a good point right now. It's at, again, like I said, it was at 240 books. And as for my reading challenges, I am mostly done with them as well. I only have a couple of books left to read for the rest of the year for the challenges. I've actually finished this one in July, so this is done. I just haven't marked it yet. And I have this book borrowed that I'm going to use for Set on an Island. So 2 books there, and I think it was, just 6 books here. And actually, I finished some of these too, so yeah, I'm doing really great there. And then we'll just take a quick look at the charts. And again, I'm not a DNFer. I stick to it with a book. I encourage people to just not keep going on books that they don't like, but in general, I finish the books that I start, and I don't have a problem with doing that. I have read a little bit of nonfiction. My nonfiction is not that big this year. It's just, I've been reading a lot of fiction. And again, I've listened to, let me just move this over, listened to a lot of audio. And then there's a good section of print and a good section of digital. Again, the digital is mostly the ARCs. So we're doing good. Genre, the biggest genre, of course, is fantasy. This is nothing new. And then I've read quite a bit that's just general fiction, nothing much to it. Then we have a good chunk that's romance, a good chunk that's mystery, a little bit of horror, and very little sci-fi too. Again, this is normal. That's how it normally is. The majority of the works have been prose with a sliver of novellas, a little bit of picture books here. I don't remember what that was. Probably just picked up a couple of cute ones. And then a nice chunk that's comics. I haven't read as many graphic novels this year. I do hope to actually add some more into the mix in the coming months because there's a lot I have to catch up on. And then audience, mostly adult, but some YA and a couple of children's. Pub date is a good mix. I think that's a good split. These would be new books out this year. And then this is the backlist. And I think that's pretty good. Books by page count. So good chunk that are in the 300 to 400 range. And then I'm guessing that this here is the graphic novels. And then these two would be books. That's my guess. Book source. I don't like the way that this is split because this doesn't actually tell me anything. But I guess it's okay. Because, like, Libby is the library. So that doesn't really make sense. And, like, borrowed and Spotify are, like, technically the same. And then Audible, I guess it's on its own, so that's okay. And then review copy, that's okay. But I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of the way that that's laid out now. Audiobooks. Most of my audiobooks are between 10 to 15 hours. A couple shorter, a couple longer. And then my source is usually Libby. They're ones that I borrow. And Hoopla is also borrowed. And then Spotify and Audible I do pay for. So they're on there. I just noticed that something is wrong with this chart. I wonder if it has the wrong year attached to it. Because that's what I found is the most common thing, but I don't... No, it looks fine. I don't know. I'll check it out later. Because usually it would tell me, like, how many was finished. I don't know why it's not. Down here, we have the country of origin. Most of the books this year have been from the US, but there are some from Canada, the UK, Australia, France, Japan, of course, Korea, and New Zealand. And then my star ratings, mostly 4s, but a couple less, including some little 2.5 here, and all the way to a couple of 5 stars. I don't give a lot of 5 stars. And then the majority of my books this year are not translated, but I do have a couple of translated books. And I think that's all for my lovely reading log. And so we're going to jump over to Goodreads just in order to see the covers, and then I can talk more into it. So again, we're starting with House of Blight. I did like this book. A Quart of Sugar and Spice, not worth it. Rebel Witch, I loved reading this. That concluded the duology of the Crimson Moth / Heartless Hunter. And yeah, I like that. Let's see. A Crown So Silver is the continuation of A Feather So Black, I think it was called. And I'm very excited to keep with this series. I did not know that it'd be going on, but now I'm wondering if there's going to be quite a few books. I don't know, just because there's a mention in this one of this rhyme. I don't remember if it was in the first book or not, but it mentioned like all these little like requirements that sounded like, are those each going to be like a book title? So I don't know, but I did enjoy continuing with the series. I would recommend that one. I thought Behooved was fun. And then Where the Library Hides, finished that duology. And I'll just keep going, I guess. And if anything stands out, The Enchanted Greenhouse, which is now out, is good. I would recommend that one. I read the arc of it. And this is cute. Roll for Romance, if you want a Dungeons and Dragons based romance, which is also about a woman starting over and finding her true like calling. It was sweet. I liked this one. There were actually a lot of books that, I'd probably recommend during this time period. I really liked The Unmaking of June Farrow. I wish that I had this in the Fairy Loot edition, but I missed my chance when it was out before. And then House of Frost and Feathers surprised me. I thought it was going to be, I don't know, I thought when it first started maybe it'd be more boring, but no, I ended up really, really liking this book. And I would recommend it. It's kind of Baba Yaga, a little bit of like coziness, and I'm trying to think of the other like fairy tale or folk tale that it reminded me of, and I can't remember it right now. But in general, I like this one. There's like a sleeping sickness that is taking over the area, And there's the House of the Baba Yaga, where it's said that if you work for the Baba Yaga, who isn't the Baba Yaga, I think she has her different name, but I can't remember it right now, so this is what I'm going with. But if you go to work for her, you're protected from the sickness. And so one of our main characters, she goes there to get a job, and more ensues, and they kind of solve the mystery about what's happening. But I really liked it. Cursebound, I do not know if I'm going to continue this series. I just don't know. I didn't love the second book. I liked the first one enough to where I wanted to read the second one, but then the second one I was just like, I didn't really see the point of it. So, Enigma, you know what? Fool me twice, Runix. I don't think I'm going to read another Runix book. The writing's not for me. Enchantra, I do like. So the first one was Phantasma. This is the second book. I like both of them. I'm getting both of them in hardcover, so I look forward to that. A Song to Drown Rivers was kind of a blend of history with a little touch of fantasy, and I thought it was really gorgeous writing. Gonna be honest, I don't remember this book. I just saw that on it. I'm like, I don't remember that at all. For the Record was good. I love the Magnolia Parks. Like, it's so messy, but so fun. And yeah, I would recommend that one. Natural History of Dragons. I probably will continue this series because I did enjoy book 1, and it's kind of been on my radar for a while, and so I finally read it, and yeah, I enjoyed that. The Night and the Moth, which again is out now, but I had read the arc of it, and I was surprised at how much I liked this book. Pleasantly surprised, of course, and so yeah, it was a good time. More manga, more Spice and Wolf. You know, I still love Spice and Wolf. So this is the one that I do have the Fairy Loot edition of, A Sea of Unspoken Things. Again, I actually like the unmaking of June Farrow more, but I think I really am a fan of Adrian Young's books. So, there you go. I am still keeping on with the Lovely Cafe books. They hit something in my soul that I just love. And let's see. Our Infinite Fates, I've sort of briefly talked about. I got this for my birthday, and I really liked it. I thought it was beautiful writing. I liked the characters. I liked the questions that are asked, and I don't know, so good. I've obviously reviewed Eden of Witches. I do recommend this. So good. Let's see. Another one. So this was Exiled by Iron. Was another Fairy Loot. Like the first book was in my Fairy Loot. And then this is the ending. It was just a duology, which was nice. But if I don't have the first book up for sale, I probably will have the first book listed on Pango. I don't remember the title of the first book, but I remember talking about it, so I definitely reviewed it. And it deals a little bit with like fated mates, which I'm not a fan of. And in the first book and into the second, really, there's kind of a love triangle there, right? So it's, fate versus choice, essentially. But I didn't like the way this wrapped everything up, because it was very much one of those, I have to find some way to get rid of the other guy, but like he doesn't turn villainous, so what do I do? And, it was alright, but it's not a series that I would want to hang on to and reread. So if I did not list the first book for sale before, I will now, because I don't want to hang on to it. I do think it's good, and I think other readers might like it more than me, so I'm glad to have read it. I talked about Lady Devil, so let's stick around there. The Neverlist, I don't know. I'm still up in the air about this one. and whether or not I'm going to keep my edition, because I think I purchased this around my birthday, but I got this from Target, whereas the other ones I got from Barnes & Noble. Still not sure yet. I did not really like this book. This is available on Pango. It's a vampire book. And I just thought it was boring. So this is available. This is one of my nonfictions that I have finished recently, The Comfort of Crows, and I really liked this, like, a lot. It follows her year and nature and what's happening around. It's just, I don't know, it's definitely has like an emotional edge with like the impact of what's happening with the environment and the animals and humanity. I don't know. I would definitely recommend this one. And it's a very quick read too, so if you're looking for a nice read. I loved, now Wild Reverence I don't think is out yet, but soon. I loved Wild Reverence. Would highly recommend this. It's very worthwhile. And it is kind of like a companion to the Divine Rivals. So if you like that world, this is a companion to that. Like, there are some characters that were in that duology that feature into this one. But I think I liked this better, to be honest. And I know some people will be like, how could you say that? But I did. I'm definitely going to do a video that's going to wrap up Aria of the Beach Forest and tell my final thoughts on it, because it wraps up in volume 3, so look for that. Let's see. This finishes the Mark Lawrence trilogy here, and, I liked it. I thought it was okay. I did finally get to read The Outcast Mage. I very much loved this one. So if you want a good fantasy tale that is not a romantasy, it's just fantasy, but there is like romance and relationships happening in the background of the main character, like they're there, but it's not like romantasy, I would recommend The Outcast Mage. It was good. I liked it a lot. And then I can't remember where this ends. These were all just okay. This actually wraps up Call the Name of the Night. I forgot. So I finished that series as well. I haven't decided whether or not to do a series review of that one, but I liked it. So I might have to talk about that one. I feel like I mentioned other things. Like I liked Rose in Chains. I thought it was very well done and well transferred. I do kind of wish that they weren't leaning so heavily on the fan fiction aspect of the marketing, and that we just allowed it to be changed more like how, like, say 50 Shades was, which I hated that book, but regardless, where it was kind of a known thing, but not the main marketer of it. I wish it was more like that, because I feel like it's making the whole conversation around the content of the book and the book itself toxic, and I just probably am not going to talk about it more than that. And that just is. I did enjoy The Serpent and the Wings of Night. I thought it was pretty good. I've been putting off reading this. Like, I really kind of didn't want to, and I kind of wanted to hate it, but I liked it. But I've heard it gets worse after the second book. Like, it's like the third or whatever, it starts to go downhill. So we'll see. Silverborn, finally. I feel like this was supposed to come out a year or two ago, and it didn't. But this is part of the, the Tales of Morgan Crow, and I just find them so charming. And this one had like such a sweet ending. Oh my gosh, it warmed my heart so much. It was so good. And then I finished My Gently Raised Beast, and that is like essentially how I ended this quarter, because I can't remember. I feel like World of Critical Role was the beginning of the next quarter. But yeah, I had a good time. So I didn't get through as many books as the first quarter, but I still got through a ton, and I feel like there was a lot that kind of stuck with me more, or that I loved and I wanted to share. So let's go back for closing remarks. Okay, so there was all the stats. 105 books. Not bad. I've definitely read more, but I am happy to be reading a little less because I've talked about it before. I feel like I just push myself a little too hard to do that, and I gotta take a break. Like, it's not normal to freak out about it. I just gotta relax and enjoy what I'm reading, and so I'm happy for that. Although I do look forward to getting time to read some more graphic novels, like manga, but also like my webtoon stuff, and also some more light novels. I'm trying to get back into my light novel reading as well. So I finished like the first volume of the World's Books, the Other World's Books Depend on the Bean Counter light novel. I finally did that. I'm finishing another series, and currently I'm on the second book of The Accomplishments of the Duke's Daughter. I went back and had to listen to the first volume because I read that one back like a couple years ago, and when I was sick with COVID, so like I don't like, I remember some of the key things but not all of it, so I went back and re-listened, and right now I'm like finishing up the second. So I am excited to get back into some more of the light novels as well, and of course I'm still continuing to get through a ton of other stuff, whether it's for a reading challenge, my book club. It's just a book I'm interested in. Like, I'm still getting through all that too, but I appreciate being able to have a little bit more time to, you know, read more of my manga and my other fun stuff as well, and also get time back to create again. But I still have a lot of other tasks I got to do, including, you know, finishing up stuff that I'm doing here, which you can't see, but, you know, eventually. Yeah, I look forward to sharing some of that too. But that is it for this video, and let's hope for a good second half of the year. We're all hoping for it, and until next time, bye.